Hi everybody, Jean here, back again, Jean's Block Party 2019, and this is block number 14. I showed you block number 13, our flying geese unit, and you got a glimpse of block number 14, which is quite circusy looking, if you're just tuning in. I was trying to be happy and use my dots and my stripes, which I love. I love my stripes, and I love my dots, and I had this large dot. I don't think you can even see it because I sort of messed up. I tried to fussy cut these dots. How do you fussy cut dots? But anyway, this is block number 14. It's a simple 9 patch. My back looks lovely. The front is pretty, but as you notice, it's a 9 patch inside of a 9 patch. The center unit, making up the second row, is another little 9 patch. So this week, very simple, because as I've said before, you can do your 9 patches in your sleep now, hopefully. It's just we're concentrating on much smaller cuts. These pieces here, these units here, are only 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So again, wherever you're cutting from your fat quarters or from your layer cakes, your 10-inch squares, do your 2 rulers or however you have honed in on your cutting to cut these little tiny bits. You could do a whole strip. We've done that before, and then subcut them, or you can just cut them individually. And then this little one in here is just a 1.5 inch square. So hopefully that won't take you too long, but that will be the most intricate part of this block. The piecing is just straightforward. You're nesting your seams, you're setting your seams, but you're going to have to do it in this little center block too. So this is simple, it's easy, you've done it in your sleep, but it may take you a little bit longer to keep yourself and your cutting in place. And where is it? Here, oh no, where is it? Oh yes, yeah. Excuse me. Somebody had said, I always say when I do my blocks on this cutting table here, I then sort of pick them all up and take them over to my sewing machine, because I say it's much easier to have everything right by your side, but I sort of teach right here, or whatever I do. I cut right here and I show you. But I do take everything, I undo it then, after I visually show you, and then I take it back over. Well, somebody said they had gotten a piece of foam board and covered it with batting. I thought, oh, what a good idea. What a good idea, fantastic. I just got a piece of card. I just cut a piece of cardboard out, and I covered it with a piece of batting, and then, and I just glued it, my Elmer's glue, I just stuck that down, and then when I'm arranging my pieces, it's sort of like a design board, because stuff sticks. So when I'm going to arrange my blocks, after I've shown you, I'm going to put them on this. What a good idea. What a super idea. Instead of having stuff, flying by your look at that, it stays. Just do that, or however you want to do it. So I thought that was a very good idea, and thank you very much, viewer. I think I appreciate that. This is awesome. So that is that. There you go, folks, on my little design board. There is block number 14 in all its glory, in all of its happy glory. I said my blocks this week were very happy, very bright and very happy. I like them. I used my bright red and my bright whites. This was block number 13, and this is block number 14. There's one other thing I want to address, and I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to 2 of them, very, very loyal fans, really. Deborah Glasteter, hey Deborah, Deb, and Marilyn Blackmore. This week I have set up a Patreon account, and as I was saying in my other video with Malia, I was wondering if I should do it, and I've been encouraged to do that. And basically what a Patreon account is I have a tip jar. And $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. And Deb and Marilyn have supported me so graciously by pledging at $10 a month to see me continue doing what I'm doing. Now, I will continue doing what I'm doing, but as a tip, it's just so very, very appreciated here. So that's Deborah. I hope I'm getting your name right, Deborah. Deb Blasteter and Marilyn Blackmore. And again, they've made such lovely comments following me along since I've begun, and or you know, out of the generosity of their heart, or leaving me a tip. I really appreciate it. So if you're interested in that or not, I'm not asking for money. That's, as I said, that's obnoxious. This is a tip jar, and as Malia said, are you offended when you go in a donut shop and you see a tip jar? I'm like, of course not. www.patreon, patreon.com/Jean Truelove 123. That's my Patreon account. That's that. I'm not quite sure. It's for artists in the artist community to be appreciated, whatever. But there's also like a reward system for patrons only. I don't know how that really works, because how do I do just Patreon? I'm patrons. That's what they're called, patrons. I'm not quite sure how to do that. But I'll delve into it. As you know, I'm not real computer literate. I'm getting there. I'm doing good. But again, Deb and Marilyn, and my others. I have 7 patrons, and I just so appreciate it so very much. But they're being very, very generous, and it's all very good. Thank you so very much for supporting me. All of you who watch me, who comment, and give me a thumbs up and a like and all of that stuff. It's all helping. It's all helping. So again, block number on my handy dandy little thing. Look at that. That's so cool. Why didn't I think of that before? Block number 14. So yeah, have at it, and I will see you back here next week. See you later, folks. Bye bye. Block number 14, just 2 fabrics this week for block number 14. And as you've seen, hopefully, it's basically a 9 patch within a 9 patch. What we are concentrating on this week is 2 high contrast fabrics, just 2 of them. But we're concentrating on I'm having you cut smaller units now. I think you've been comfortable enough now for the last couple months of doing our fabrics, of doing our blocks. You're getting more comfortable with our 2 ruler method, or however you wish to cut. But this week we're cutting small units. No marking, no diagonal cutting, just a 9 patch, but with very small units. Fabric A, which is my lighter fabric, I have cut, you want to cut 8 2.5-inch squares. Okay, I've cut 8 2.5-inch squares of my light fabric. Then I've cut 1 1.5-inch square. Now this is a very small little unit. There's my 1.5-inch right at the corner, and there you go. There's my 1.5-inch square that I have cut out of my lighter fabric. Now fabric B, our darker fabric, our contrast, you're wanting to cut 4, here are my units, 4 2.5-inch by 5.5-inch rectangles. Okay, so there's my 2.5-inch by 5.5-inch rectangles. I've cut 4 of them out of my darker fabric. Now, again, out of my darker fabric, you're going to want to cut 4 1.5-inch by 2.5-inch rectangles. So that is our cutting for block number 14. And that's basically it. Whether you can get them out of your fat quarters or your 10-inch squares, you can figure that out. I think you can do that. But right now, easy peasy, what we're going to do is we're just going to put this together. I have it in front of me here. I'm just going to put this together visually as our block is evolving. So this is how our block goes. As you know, I like to do it this way. I'm putting my blocks just next to each other. And it's a basic 9 patch, okay? And you'll see how that comes together. This is a basic 9 patch unit. Here. I sort of tried to fussy cut these dots. I don't think it worked all that well. So now, here's the outside. You'll bear with me. So here is our top row, our middle row, which I have yet to construct, and our bottom row, basically a 9 patch. But within this 9 patch, it's interesting, we have another little 9 patch, remember? So look at this. So look how this comes together. Lots of little bits this week, but you can do it, because what we're going to do is I'm going to break this down for you. This obviously, the seams aren't there, so you have a lot more seams here. As you can see, we're making a little 9 patch. There's my little center 9 patch. Look how delightful. Very, very complicated looking, but let's break it down for you folks. Forget this, forget these, forget this unit. Let's now just concentrate on our center 9 patch, which you have done. You have done. So we're laying it out like this. So always break it down to the easiest. Break it down, break it down. So now we are going to concentrate on this center 9 patch unit, but just this center unit. Now what are you going to do? Somebody had a very, I forget, excuse me, the lovely commenter had a very good idea. They got foam boards from the dollar store covered with a bit of batting and laid out their blocks, and then took that over to the machine. So everything just sort of sticks. Very, very good idea. So everything just sticks, that you can take this right over to your machine, and you can create your 9 patches, because as you know, I like to have everything. I do it here, but then I take it over to my machine to make sure of what I'm doing. I don't have that. Maybe I'll get that. Let me just think what I have right here. Right now, let me just see. Right now I have. Yes, I have my comic book board, because I'm going to take these, because there's a lot of little units, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take my units over, because you can get confused. You don't want to get confused. And I'm going to go over, and as you know, what we're going to do, we're going to take this is our center unit. We're going to take pretty sides to that one, sew that pretty sides there, and then do the same here. Right sides together, right sides together. Do it all of them on that unit there. And then we'll come back and we'll construct the rest of our 9 patch. Simple, but a little bit more, well, a lot more sewing. So, but if you like, I'm going to take this right over to my machine now, and I'm going to create that unit there. So again, a very good hint to have your fabrics over next to your machine, and then you can see what you're doing. So I'm going to start stitching my 9 patch together with my 1/4 inch seam. Now there is a way, and I'll probably do it a little bit further, that you can chain piece these units. Now, I don't want to show you that. I don't want to show you that straight away now, because you might get a bit confused. So let's just, for now, we'll do that later on in the block party. Let's just for now create our units one at a time. So this is our top row of our center 9 patch. I'll bring this over, and as you can see, it's a lot easier. I keep reaching around because my Juki is not, I keep reaching around. My Juki is not computerized. This machine is. It's funny that. So, I'll keep it in mind. There's my little center square. We're working with fiddly little bits. I have my machine set at 2.0, or a smaller stitch. My center, because especially with so many little right sides together, I turn it around so I can I can stitch it. With so many little seams, it's better to have a shorter stitch length. And then I come over here, right sides together. And it doesn't take long. Oops. This computerized machine does it all. I like this machine. It's my old Husqvarna. It's about 20 years old. It has an embroidery unit on it. So now what I'm going to do is, here's my units here. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I know. I'm going to, actually this is telling me right now that my seams want to be pressed into the dark and then out to the light, to the dark. That's how my seams are laying. And then I'm going to set these seams, and then I'm going to stitch this unit together. I've set and ironed my seams, and I think you folks will begin to realize, even though like you're thinking, oh, I don't really need to go over to my machine, my ironing board right now. I could just sew them all together. I think you're beginning to realize just those few extra seconds that it takes to set your seam and do, where the fabric wants to go. Now I just want to show you how nice the back will look where the fabric wanted to go. You see that? This wanted to go onto the inside, this wanted to go to the out, and this wanted to go to the inside. So that when this is a little tiny 9 patch, a little bit fiddly. By all means, if you want to use your pins to nest that seam together, by all means. I don't have to, or maybe I should. Maybe I should, because that's not right. That's not right to tell you. So here I am. I'm going to nest this little seam together right there. Put my pin in there. And then this one nests beautifully right there. I'm just going to pin the one. And then I'm going to sew this 1/4 inch seam. I've perfected my 1/4 inch seam. I can come there. I can feel that nesting. It's a bit fiddly, but you got this. You can do it. There's my 1/4 inch seam. I trim all my threads up nicely. I'm watching what I'm doing. My seams have nested beautifully, and then I'm going to put this one over to here. Again, you will see, I go this way. You will see that it's a bit fiddly. So now you're getting onto a little bit more, not advanced, but a little bit more precise stitching and piecing. My seams nest beautifully right there. The seams are going where they want to go. And here is my little 9 patch unit right there, beautifully. Now what am I going to do? Set, and press. And then I'll take it back over and we can finish our 9 patch block up. My unit here, and basically what do we have? We have a little bit more of an interesting 9 patch unit. Exactly. And as you can see, because I've sewn this precisely, this center unit here matches up perfectly with my outside dark ones and my bottom one. So there, folks, when we go to stitch it together, is our lovely, interesting, my dotted 9 patch. Looks a little bit more complicated only because of the little tiny bits that you're using. So it's going to be interesting. Take you a little bit longer because you want to do it really nice. I'm going to take this again. I'm going to take this over to my machine. I think I will get a nice bit of foam board. I think I'll probably have some bit of batting. Lay it out. I like to lay it out here visually. Take it over to my machine, and then I won't bore you because we've done this. I just did it with this one. I'm going to take this pretty side, right sides together. I'm going to do one. I'm going to do this unit. This one over to there. That one over to there. These, and then I'll stitch this seam here. And yeah, we will have our beautiful 9 patch within a 9 patch unit. Again, I want to reiterate how important it is to iron your seams before you go to sew a unit together. Again, it's half or 3/4 of making a nice quilt block. I've done my top units here, and as you can see, my seams, this is pressed to the dark, these are pressed to the light. This is pressed to the dark. And now when I go to sew my units together, I can just nest those seams beautifully where they intersect right there, because one is going one way, this one's going the other way. And when I go to stitch them, my 1/4 inch seam, I can be assured that my units are just lovely. And there you go. So I'm just gonna, and then when I press this, my fabric wants to tell me it wants to go this way. It's both to the light and the dark, but we figured that out. You're gonna listen to your fabric, right? You're gonna listen to your fabric. I'm gonna set that seam, and then we'll have a perfect block. So I'll just finish this up now. So here, ta-da, is my block number 14. It's happy, it's fun, it's sort of like carnival-y, all of the colors, all of the dots. I love it. I think it's real pretty. Oh, let me just see. I always forget to do this. Oh, I'm a little bit out. Oh yeah, see, I'm not proud, I'm a little bit out. It's a little bit big. That's okay though. I'd rather square it down than square it up. Yeah, right, there's just a sliver. Let me see, yeah, that's just a sliver here. Hopefully you folks will have gotten your lovely 9.5 inch ruler. Look how nice this makes it. Makes it so wonderful to square up and to make your blocks all just lovely. There's a little bit over there. Also quite a lot over there. That's okay. So now there, my perfect 9.5 inch block. Ah, so pretty. And from last week, I'm sort of like a carnival theme. I just noticed that. My block number 13 and my block number 14, sort of carnival-y, pretty, happy, bright red and whites. Yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. So that is block number 14. I'll put the instructions, cutting instructions up. And remember, like Malia said, remember to like, thumbs up. 2 thumbs up my video, subscribe, ring the bell, do whatever if you like my video. Keep me going. Thank you, folks. I really appreciate it. All right, block number 14. We are on the way. See you. Bye.